Okay, for those of you who don't know what's going on, which probably is a rare small few of you, there's this whole thing about Michael Richards, aka Kramer, and his whole racial comments that he made November 17th, I believe it was. And there, people have been, a lot of hate comments left on YouTube, as well as, well, I didn't really see any supporting what he said. Anyway, after that, he made a public apology on David Letterman, and people, as far as their comments were concerned, were pretty much split down the middle. Either they believed him or they didn't. Alright, so, and some people said that, well, for those of you who probably don't know what happened, Michael was being heckled on while he was on stage at a comedy club, and apparently he took it quite personally, and he made a lot of racial comments to them people to, I don't know, either as a way of getting back to them or shutting them up, something. Anyway, the comments were made, and he just run a search for the to see the video that was made. You can see he made a lot of negative comments that were completely, as one of the people in the video said, completely uncalled for. So, well, let's get things leveled off here. First things first, both parties are to blame. The hecklers had no business heckling, and Michael had no business taking it that far. If you want to accept a heckle as a personal attack, then you try to use comedy against him. But anyway, and that being said, people try so hard to ignore the fact that racism still exists. Even so, when it's put in their face like this, they do one of two things: they either laugh it off, or they just plain old ignore it, or they just get really pissed off and leave hate comments. But what people fail to understand is that everyone has a little bit of racism in them, no matter how small, whether they're aware of it or not. Okay, well, now, having racial views, racist views, does not make someone a racist. It's allowing those views to influence their opinions on all the people within a group, whether it be racism, sexism, or anything else that ends in an ism. So, now I will admit I do have some racist views myself, but I'm not going to turn this into the whole back and forth thing that's been going on with the whole Kramer issue, so I will not divulge what those views are. Suffice it to say, they've been instilled in me since childhood, and I'm not going to be getting rid of them because I see no reason to. Mainly because the stereotype is still going on them. And that's exactly what racism is. It's the stereotype that the majority of a group do and apply it to everyone and hate them for it. That's all racism and sexism, all the isms are. It's stereotyping taken to the extreme. So, yes, I do have racist views. However, I do not believe, nor do I view myself as a racist, because I do not allow my views to influence the way I see black people. I mean, if I see a tall, muscular, bald black man walking down the streets, I'm not going to. Well, actually, yes, I am. A tiny little bit of me is going to fear him because I'm afraid he's going to pull a gun out on me and kill me for no good reason. But my reasoning skills are far superior than my primal fears. So I don't allow it to influence the way I view that person, even if he were to just all of a sudden start talking to me for whatever reason. Ask me for the time or something. I don't know. So it's not the fact that having racial viewpoints makes a person a racist, it's allowing them to influence you to hate every person in that race. And every other ism there is in the world. So people have been debating, yes, he is a racist. No, he's not. You could tell by the anger in his voice, and back and forth, back and forth. Everyone, I don't care what they say, has some racism in them. It's whether you use it or not that makes you a racist or not. He used it. So he can apologize till the cows come home. He used it. Therefore, I personally believe that he is a racist. So people are comparing him to Mel Gibson because of his whole getting shit-faced and trashing Jews. And it's not really fair to compare one person to another, especially because no two people are alike. So stop that. Do I agree that he was out of line? Absolutely. It didn't need to be taken that far, but he did. Do I believe he's a racist? Yes. Because he did take it that far. Am I going to hate him forever now because of it? Let me tell you. I am Christian and therefore believe that every person is redeemable, no matter how far bad they go. So I'm not going to hate him forever for this, but there is going to be that whole, oh, his career is so ruined now because of this, and people are going to look at him completely different from now on. True. And I will resent him for a little while because of this, because he allowed himself to be taken over by this raw emotion, and instead of taking a break to process it, he just unleashed it. Everyone, when they get angry to a certain point, reason and logic escapes you and you just let it go. Whether because it triggers something that shouldn't be triggered, or just whatever. It does happen. So, yes, he is very much at fault for what he said, and he has accepted responsibility for it, which is good. But I don't believe that he should be forever marked because of it, because people can and do change. Whether, and especially, you say things out of hate, actually not hate, out of anger. All people do say things out of anger that they don't mean. I don't care if he didn't mean it or not. He said it. It's primal, especially to us Southerners. The racial line is there. We do feel it. The whole racism thing is a part of it's a part of our culture, it's a part of our history, and sadly it is a part of our history, our tradition. Now, I have no idea if Michael Richards is Southern. I'm speaking mainly about myself now, and all of us other people who do live or grew up in the South. Alright, so did he mean it? Probably. I mean, it's not uncommon for people's true character to come out when they are enraged, as opposed to them completely not meaning a single word of it, not knowing the man. I really can't say, what's his name? Seinfeld and the rest of the cast members who were with him for however long that show lasted will, or even his family even, are more accurate people to judge him and say with more accuracy than we ever could whether or not he really meant it, whether or not he really is a racist, and whether or not he really is torn up over it. I personally believe he is. I mean, if you saw his speech on the Letterman show, you can tell he wasn't prepared for that thing at all. My personal belief, although I did not research this, is that Jerry Seinfeld arranged for the apology to be made on Letterman and then told Michael about it, and he didn't have time to prepare a speech, so he was just speaking from the top of his head. And I truly believe he is sorry because there's acting to make people think you truly are sorry. You know, being deceitful. And then there's being genuine. I have a knack for being able to point out whether someone's being deceitful or not because I myself can be very deceitful because I grew up in a world where I had to be. So I'm very good at spotting deceit in people. And I detected no deceit when watching the Letterman apology thing going on. So, let's see. I can forgive him in time, but not at the moment. He made his bed, now he has to lay in it. What he did, the hecklers were wrong too, but he took it to a far extreme that didn't need to be approached. Now, I can't make a complete judgment on him because I don't know him. Also, because if you've seen the tape here on YouTube, you can tell that it starts right when he's making those comments. It doesn't show you what happens beforehand. We were just told, oh, he was heckled, but we don't actually see the heckling going on, so we can't judge too much anyway. Why he took it as far as he did, because we never saw it. We can't analyze the way they were heckling him, the way it was affecting him, and then whoosh! We just saw whoosh. So, not a single person anywhere except for those who were at that nightclub that night, comedy club that night, can fully fathom and appreciate what all took place that night. Therefore, we should, for those of us who are bothered by it, we should listen to what his friends and family say about his character, and we should listen to the people who were at the comedy club and talked about what happened before the outburst. And then if you trust everything that is told to you and don't take it with any skepticism, then yeah, that is the most prime time to analyze Michael's character, his actions, and make your own decisions on whether or not is he a racist and is he truly sorry. So, until we get all those factors in, no one is able to make a complete judgment on him. All we have is hearsay and false, I don't want to say false truths, perceptive truth. Because let's face it, unless you watch those videos a gazillion times, you're not going to remember what happened. You're only going to remember what you think happened. And there is a big difference between the truth and perceptive truth. Because the truth is the truth, and perceptive truth is what you remember, whether it's accurate or not. So, also, people shouldn't get too analytical when making their judgments on him from this video, because let's face it, nobody was examining him that closely that night. So I think analyzing it to that extreme is unnecessary. So, I guess the whole point that I'm really trying to make here is that he made a mistake, he got caught, and he apologized for it. It happens all the time, and I hate it that just because a celebrity does it, all of a sudden it's news. You know, you see them all the time. Celebrities going on the beach. Oh, let's take pictures and write stories about it. Oh, yes, Brad and Angelina were at the beach yesterday. They went swimming. Where's the news in that? People do that all the time, and just because a celebrity does it, all of a sudden it's interesting. No. As far as the whole issue itself, it's brought to light something that is still within us all and is still alive today, and it was forced upon us, and we weren't ready to accept it. And that is the main reason why people are lashing out. They think the whole racism thing is over. They've got it in their heads. They've convinced themselves that it's over. So now, when they see this whole Kramer thing going on, all of a sudden, they want to turn him into a martyr because he destroyed their illusion. So, yeah. I'm just ranting now. I don't even know if I'm personally. Well, you can tell this is all. I don't even know who the hell I'm attacking here, if I'm attacking anyone at all. Just analyze me and, hey, let me know.